So class today was written because I went running this week. And I'm not a big time runner. It's not my favorite choice of exercise by any means, but I like to mix it up. So I went running this week and I'm feeling it in my legs and my hips. So that's where we're going to go today. This is a class, legs and hips. It'd be a really good one if you've ever had a long run or a run after a long time. So that's what we're going to hit today. Let's start in child's pose. Toes can come together, knees wide to start to get into those hips. Let yourself rest here and breathe. With each breath, let your hips feel just a little bit heavier. Let your chest melt just a little bit deeper. Allow your breath to slow down. Maybe start to draw on that ujjayi breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose with an audible quality. My thought for class today is the same as it was a little bit earlier this week. Document the moments you feel most in love with yourself, what you're wearing, who you're around, what you're doing. Recreate and repeat. So maybe during class today, take a moment to pause and think about those moments when you felt most in love with yourself and find the gratitude in those moments so you can draw upon them when you need that. One more deep breath in and one more deep breath out. Draw yourself up to a tabletop position. Wrists right underneath your shoulders. Move into a cow. Drop your belly, lift the crown of your head. Let your tailbone tip up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, round your spine, tuck your chin, tuck your pelvis under. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Breathe in for cow. And breathe out. Now take this time on your own breath and your own movement, adding a side-to-side motion, rolling your rib cage around, whatever it is that you need. Take this opportunity to check in with your body. Take care to make an attempt to breathe in as you open and expand your chest, and breathe out as you find contraction. Maybe tuck your toes and see how that changes the experience a little bit. We're going to play with this tucked toes a little bit today to get into those feet. Come to a neutral tabletop. If those toes aren't already tucked, go ahead and do so. Sit back. Send your weight back over your heels, coming into screaming toes pose. You can draw your hands to heart center. The pinky toes can tuck or untuck. Mine don't quite reach the ground this morning, so it's not an issue. But if yours are stuck on the ground, decide if you want to adjust your pinky toes. And make sure that weight's back over the heels. And hold and breathe. Getting into the bottom of those feet. It's intense. Breath in, breath out. One more breath in, And release, plant your hands. Oh, I have to so slowly untuck my toes after that. Oof, and just tap the tops of your feet on the floor to let that go. Leave your right hand planted on the ground, maybe shift it over right in front of your face. Kickstand your right foot back behind you, extend your left foot out so you're coming into a supported version of side plank here. Lift your left leg up if you've got that available to you. Maybe your left arm reaches overhead. We're going to hold it here for about 30 seconds. If we hold it for 30 seconds, you'll start to engage your core. This is really a core check with all this balance that happens here. Squeeze your glutes, use your glutes. Breathe. One more breath. And set your left foot down. Plant your left hand down. Bring your left knee back in, back to tabletop. Readjust if you need a little bit of adjustment. And we'll do the other side. Plant your left hand underneath your face. Step your right foot back. First landing on the ball of your foot, then rotating both your foot and your ankle under to find that side plank. Right arm lifts. Just feel it here for a minute. Make sure your shoulders stacked right over your wrist. When you're ready, lift that left leg up. Reach that left arm over your ear. Hold it here, 30 seconds. All the little tiny wobbles. Is your body working? All those muscles working. And last breath. Plant your right hand down. Send your right knee back down to the ground. One more round of cat-cow to reset after that. Breathe in for cow. Breathe out, round to cat. Come to neutral. Tuck your toes, send your hips high. Downward facing dog. First downward dog, wiggle your feet, pedal your feet. Bend one elbow at a time. Twist your neck around. Once you've checked in, find a place of stillness. And we'll stay here for about 3 good breaths. Take a look up at your hands and gently walk your feet up. Step outside of your hands and sink your hips down into Malasana. If you want to sit on a block, that's always an option. Use your elbows to press your knees apart. Hands can come to prayer to find additional space there. An extra space to provide that pressure. Some people feel a lot better up on their toes. You can always do that. If you were going to just sit in Malasana in front of the TV, after maybe a day of a long run, you can roll up a blanket and place it underneath your heels to provide a little more support, a little less strain on the ankles. Give that a try next time that you're working on that, maybe in your own home. Take one more breath in, one more breath out. Take your fingertips down to the earth. Heel toe your feet in to hip distance. Take a halfway lift. And a forward fold. Plant your hand and simply step right back to downward facing dog. Pick up your right knee, draw it towards your right ankle. Set it down on the mat. We're going to move into a really gentle version of pigeon first off this morning. So your shin's somewhere at a 45-degree angle. Press your left foot back behind you. Straight back, let it slide. Maybe keep yourself lifted because we're just getting started and it's early. Let your muscles relax into it a little bit. Breath in. And plant your hands, tuck your toes, reactivate, re-straighten, and step back to downward facing dog. And other side, pick up your left leg, draw your knee towards your ankle. Set your leg up at a 45. Slide that right leg back behind you. Sitting back into pigeon. If you feel okay and you want to fold over, you want to go lower, go for it. We'll revisit pigeon at the very end of class to make sure we have some time to really hang out there. Plant your hands, crawl that right toe back in, and come back to downward facing dog. Look up at your hands and step your feet all the way up towards your hands into a forward fold. Clasp opposite elbows. Sway back and forth. Drop your hands down to your mat. Gently roll up. One vertebrae at a time. Your head tips right on top of your vertebrae there, very last minute. Exhale as your shoulder blades fall down your back. Inhale, send your arms up and overhead. Gaze at your fingertips. And exhale, bow or swan dive all the way down, forward fold. Breathe in, plant your hands to your shins, halfway lift. Hold it here for just a breath. And forward fold. And inhale rolls you all the way up. Let your arms float up at the top of that inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms go back up. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, half lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in all the way up. Arms up, gaze up. And exhale, hands to heart. Adding on this time, the first sun salutation will move through real slowly. Breathe in, up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, half lift. Breathe out, plant your hands. Step your left foot back, step your right foot back. You're in high plank. Hold it here for 3 breaths. You can drop to your knees if you want to drop to your knees. Breath in, shift your shoulders forward over your fingertips a little. Squeeze your elbows back behind you like a grasshopper. Lower your chest all the way down to the earth. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lift up your chest. Baby cobra. We're gonna hold it here. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. Breathe out. Last breath in. Exhale, let your forehead come back down to the ground. Press back to tabletop position. Tuck your toes. Come to downward facing dog. Breathe in, look at the top of your mat. Breathe out, walk or step all the way up to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolls you all the way up. Arms float up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Again, but a little more quickly. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, half lift. Breathe out, plant your hands. Step back to your high plank. Lower down. You choose halfway or all the way. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in and breath out. Inhale, look to your hands. Walk or step your feet all the way up. Breathe in, half lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, roll up, fingertips up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to move through that again, but I have a big change to the way we usually do things, just to try something different. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, plant hands, step back to your high plank. Okay, listen up. You're going to keep your toes tucked. So take a breath in, breath out, lower down halfway or all the way. Whatever you choose, keep your toes tucked. As you inhale, you can come to cobra, toes tucked, or up dog, toes tucked. This is a variation that's really popular with some people in other parts of the world. You have to press through your heels. Those legs are really working hard. Press through your hands. So it's not about your hips sinking while your toes are tucked. Press through your heels, press through your hands. Breath in and breath out. Downward facing dog. We're going to do one more sun salutation with that toe variation, because that'll show up again in our sequencing later in class. Inhale, look to your hands. Exhale, walk all the way up to your hands. Breathe in, half lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, roll up. And exhale, hands to heart. Okay, here we go with that change. Breathe in. Breathe out, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant hands, step back, toes stay tucked. Lower down, chaturanga or to your chest. Inhale, up dog, press through your heels. Exhale, downward facing dog. It's a different feeling, and I really want to flip over onto the tops of my feet just because that's my muscle memory. Inhale, look to your hands. Exhale, walk, step, float all the way up to those hands. Breathe in, half lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, roll up. Arms up, gaze up, exhale. Hands to heart. Close your eyes down for just a brief second before we get moving through that middle chunk of our class. One breath in. One breath out. Shift your weight into your right leg, to your right foot. Inhale, send your arms high, bring your left leg up with you. Take your left ankle, stack it just above your right knee, and come into a little bit of this figure four squat. Pressing your left knee open and down towards the floor to find that figure four shape. Hands can be at heart. Pressing through all four corners of the feet. Breath in and breath out. Inhale, come to standing. Bring that left knee back to your chest. And exhale, reach down with your left hand to your left ankle. Move into a quad stretch. You can keep your right arm lifted or reach back behind you if you have the shoulder opening to grab with both hands. Breath in, breath out. One more breath in, breath out. Release with your right hand and your left. Step your left foot way back behind you, coming into a crescent lunge. We're just gonna pause here for a minute. Breath in and breath out. Plant your hands on the ground, drop your back knee. For this first round through, really shimmy your leg back a little bit so that you're on the top of your knee. Maybe your knee's even flat on the ground. You can really press those hips forward, using gravity to let those hips sink down. Maybe a deeper lunge than we would usually find. My knee's so far back, I'm almost on the top of my thigh. Wiggle your left foot in just a skosh. Keep it untucked. Inhale, lift your chest up. Twist over to the right, left hand on the front knee. For today, I'm going to take my right hand and wind it behind my back just to help open up that chest. Continue to sink into your hips. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, release all that Plant your hands on your mat. As you exhale, sink your hips back, straighten your front leg, moving into half Hanumanasana. Flexing your front foot, drawing the toes back towards your face, pulling back on your right hip crease so your hips are squaring up towards the front of the room. Inhale, walk yourself forward. Plant your hands. Tuck your back toe, activate that back leg. So now we're in a low lunge. Pick up your right foot right underneath your nose. Step back to high plank. Find yourself in high plank, take a breath in, take a breath out, toes stay tucked, sink your hips down right into that up dog variation. Press through your heels, activate those legs, lift your chest. Your quads should be working hard in this one. Breath in and breath out, downward facing dog. Take a breath in, lift your right leg up to three-legged dog. Press through your heel, exhale, draw your knee to your nose, set your right shin down on the ground underneath your body. Rotate your left heel back behind you, kickstand that right leg, moving into the same gentle side plank we started class. Maybe you lift your left leg up. If you have more space, you can reach back, left arm, left ankle, kicking into that opening across your chest. Gently release that. Don't drop the left foot if you're holding it. Keep your left foot high. Square your hips down. Plant your left hand down on the earth. So now we're in a tabletop with our left foot facing up towards the sky. Square your hips down. Your left hip is going to want to fly up. Press it down towards the mat. Press your left heel up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your glutes. Press through your right shoelaces. Breath in. Breath out. Take your left knee, cross it behind your right knee. So your legs are in a little crissy-cross. Spread your heels apart from side to side. Fingertips walk back, walk back, walk back. Come to seated and roll all the way onto your back into cow face pose on our backs. So in cow face pose, your knees are aligned with one another. We often do this seated. We're going to do it reclined today. Draw those feet down towards the earth. I had a teacher once say that it was like riding a motorcycle. Your hands were on your handlebars. She was British though, so she said motorbike. So every time I'm in this posture, think of riding my motorbike. Take a breath here and a breath out. Release your feet, unwind, press your feet up towards the sky. You can reach for your big toes and draw them towards your face or for the backs of your calves, wherever is accessible, or you can just press your heels towards the ceiling in a legs up the wall restorative posture. One more breath in and find a little rock and roll. See if you can rock yourself all the way to your feet and come to standing back at the top of your mat. And we'll do the other side nice and slow, just like that one, before we pick up the pace. Hands to heart center. Shift your weight into your left foot. Breathe in, lift your right leg. Right ankle crosses just above left knee. Hands to heart, prayer, squat. Right knee pressing open and down towards the earth. One more breath. Breath out. Inhale, come back to standing. Your right knee comes with you. Right hand, right ankle, quad stretch. Maybe your left hand comes too. Breath in, breath out. Release that back leg. Reach way back. Land on the ball of your foot. Find a brief pause in crescent. And then drop your hands down. Drop your back knee. Shimmy that leg back a little further than you might otherwise, so you can really find space to sink those hips. Scooch that right knee forward a little bit. So we're back to a more traditional low lunge shape. Press your hips back, left toes up, half Hanumanasana. With each breath, letting your head draw a little closer to that leg. Breath in and breath out. Walk yourself back forward. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee up off the ground, plant both hands nice and strong. Flick that left foot right up underneath you. Step back to your high plank. Breath in, breath out. Drop your hips down, press through your heels, press through the ball of your foot to this upward facing dog variation. Don't let your chest sink. Don't collapse into your shoulders. Breath in and breath out. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg goes high. Press through your heel, flex that foot. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose. Set your shin on the mat underneath you. Kickstand your left foot out, drop your right heel behind. Right arm up, side plank. If you have the space, you lift that right leg. If you have more available to you, you grab that right foot and kick. Breath in. As you breathe out, release that leg if you've got it. Don't let it fall. Close your hips down to the earth. Plant your right hand. Flex your foot. Press your heel up towards the ceiling. Square your hips. Press your right hip down. But your right heel presses up. Your right hip presses down. Use your glutes. Breathe in and breathe out. Your right knee crosses behind your left knee. Send your feet out to the sides of the room so you have room to walk your fingertips back, push back, roll all the way onto your back to reclined cow face. Breath in, breath out. Release your legs. Press your heels up to the sky. Grab onto your toes or your calves, or just let it be restful and restorative. One more breath in. Breath out. Activate your pelvis. Maybe tilt it back a little so you can get a little momentum. Roll forward. Come to standing. Walk back up to the top of your mat. We'll do that again, picking up the pace quite a bit, speeding things up. Hands come to heart. Breath in and breath out. Shift your weight into your right leg. Inhale, your left knee comes up. Ankle crosses over, figure four squat. Just for one breath in and one breath out. Inhale, come to standing. Your left knee comes with you. Quad stretch for one breath in and one breath out. Last breath in here, release that leg. Reach back with your left toes. Land on that left toe. Inhale, your chest comes high to crescent. And exhale, back knee drops, hands drop. Untuck your toe, press your hips down just for one breath in. And breath out, front toes point up to the sky, folding over that leg. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, press yourself forward. Tuck your back toe, plant your hand, lift your back leg up. Step your right foot back, high plank. Breath in. Breath out, drop your hips, press through your heels, press through your hands. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up, press through your heel. Exhale, knee comes to nose, shin drops down. Kickstand that leg out. Lift your left arm up, side plank. Lift your left leg up. Maybe you grab, breath in to open your chest. Breath out, your hand comes down, don't drop that leg. Left heel presses towards the ceiling, breathe in. Breathe out, cross your knee behind your right knee, heels go wide, fingertips go back, roll all the way onto your back, cow face. Breathe in here, and out. Inhale, send your toes to the sky, breath in, and breath out, roll all the way up to standing, walking up to the top of your mat. And we'll do the other side. Shift your weight into your left leg this time. Inhale, right leg comes up, sink down, figure four. One breath in, one breath out. Inhale, back up, and quad stretch. One breath in, one breath out. Inhale, release, step your right foot back, ball of the foot, chest comes up, crescent, and exhale, knee drops. Untuck your toes, sink your hips down, breath in, breath out, straighten your front leg, half Hanumanasana. Breath in, breath out, press back forward, hands plant, tuck your toe, lift your back knee, step your left foot back, high plank, breath in, and breath out. Upward dog on your toes, breath in, breath out, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg goes high, pressing through the heel. Exhale, knee to nose. Right heel hip pivots back, right arm reaches up, right leg reaches up. Maybe you catch that ankle, breath in, breath out, plant your right hand, press your right heel up towards the sky. Exhale, right knee crosses behind left knee. Send your heels wide. Send your weight back between those heels. Roll all the way down onto your back. Catch those feet. Inhale as you send your feet towards the sky, grabbing those toes, breath in. Breath out, rock forward, standing at the top of our mat. We're gonna do that one last time, but I'm gonna add a little piece back in, and we're gonna pause for a minute in our Hanumanasana. So if you wanna take it to a full split, you can. So if you have blocks, that might be handy if you need blocks for your full splits. Breath in, and breath out. Shift weight into right foot, left foot comes up, cross it over, figure four, exhale. Breath in, and breath out. Inhale, come back up. Pull that left foot behind you. Quad stretch, breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale, your arms up. Bend your standing leg, reach your left foot back. Breath in as you come to crescent. Breath out, drop that back knee, plant those fingertips, sink those hips down. Inhale your hands up this time, twisting over to the right, catching that left knee. Remember that bind we started with at the beginning. Breath in and breath out. Untwist, plant those fingertips. Now we'll have the opportunity to try splits. So send your weight back. You can stay at right here in half Hanumanasana where we've been working on, or you can take a block if you need it or not, and start to move into full splits. We'll stay here for a few breaths. One more breath in. As you breathe out, start to pick up your chest, rebend that front leg. Move your block out of the way if you're using one. Find that low lunge we're used to. Plant your hands, tuck your back toe, lift your back knee up off the ground. Pick up your right foot, step back, high plank. Breath in, breath out, let your hips drop, press through your heels. Breath in, and breath out, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Set your shin down. Plant your right hand, lift your left arm up, side plank. Maybe your left leg comes up. Catch that foot, breathe in. Breathe out, release it. Plant your left hand. Press your left heel towards the ceiling. Square your left hip down. Send your left knee behind your right. Cross them over. Spread your heels. Sink your weight back all the way onto your back. Back to our reclined cow face. We'll stay here for a couple breaths this time. Breath in and breath out. Release your legs. Point your feet up at the ceiling. Grab those toes or calves. Breath in and breath out. Roll forward. Come to standing. Maybe don't use your hands. All the way up. One more side. Breath in and breath out. Inhale, right knee comes up. Cross it over, sink down to your figure four for one breath in and one breath out. Inhale, come up high. Exhale as you find your quads stretch for one breath in and one breath out. Inhale, reach your arms up. Reach your right leg back behind you. Ball of the foot, breath in. Breath out, drop your back knee down. Plant your hands. Sink into those hips. Inhale, lift up your arms, twist over to the left, wrapping that left arm behind you, catching that right hand on that right knee. Breathe in, breathe out, twist back around, plant your fingertips, sink your hips back. Again, we'll pause here for a moment so you can move into your version of the full splits or can continue folding into half Hanumanasana. Breath in, breath out. Pick your chest up, rebend that front knee if it's not already bent. Wiggle yourself forward, get set up in a comfy low lunge. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee up. Snap that left foot right back to high plank. Breath in, breath out. Sink those hips down, open your chest, press through the balls of your feet. Press through your heels, lift your chest, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, draw your knee under your body, set your shin down. Drop your right heel behind you, right arm goes up. Side plank. Maybe lift your right leg. Catch your ankle. Breath in, breath out. Right hand plants, right heel presses towards the ceiling. Cross your right knee behind your left. Open those heels up, sit back. All the way down onto your back. Recline cow face again, a brief pause here. Breath in, breath out. Send your toes up towards the ceiling. Breathe in, breathe out, roll forward. Come to standing all the way back at the top of your mat. Toes together, heels slightly apart. Take a breath in, sweep your fingertips on the ground, squeeze your knees together, come into chair. We're gonna be here for several breaths. So you have a minute to check in with all of our checkpoints. Is your weight backing your heels? So much so that you can pick your toes up off the ground. Can you see your toes sticking out in front of your knees? Is your pelvis neutral? Not sticking out, not tucked under, neutral. Your chest is lifted. Your arms are lifted. So your shoulder blades and your shoulders will naturally lift because your arms are lifted, but they're still relaxed. Breath in, breath out, sink a little deeper. Breath in, breath out, sink a little deeper. Breath in, breath out, sink a little deeper. Last breath in, breath out, come all the way to seated, all the way down onto your back. We'll take a moment here to rest. So give yourself whatever you need in this moment of rest. You can rest on your side or child's pose or on your back. Get yourself water. This is your opportunity to listen to what your body needs. When you're ready for more movement, start to wake yourself up a little bit. Pick yourself up to seated. Come all the way to seated in an easy seat, Sukhasana. Let your neck relax and roll out just a little bit here. And come into a downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, come up, and thrust your chest through. We've gotten into the backs of the legs a lot today. So take a peek, maybe your heels are sinking just a tiny bit more than they were at the start of class. Inhale, lift your right leg up to three-legged dog. Draw your knee to your nose in high plank, shoulders stacked right over your wrist. Step your right foot through your hands. Dial your left foot down at a 45-degree angle. Right here, start pulling forward on your left hip crease. Before you even lift your chest up, coming into warrior one. Pulling back on your right hip crease, forward on your left hip crease. Breathe here. We haven't been in a single warrior yet today. Press through the pinky edge of your back foot. Breath in. Let your hands come behind your back. Find a clasp. Inhale, open up your chest. You can add a little back bend here if that feels okay. Your single fist pulling down towards the earth inside of your back leg. Breath in. Breath out. Start to lean yourself forward. Bring the weight into your right leg. Keep that bind. Pressing into a warrior three with that clasp if you can keep on to it. Breath in, breath out. Release your fingertips down to the earth. Send your left leg high, standing splits. Now we're going to play with a couple options here in standing splits to find a bind. The option that feels the most accessible for most people is to bend the right leg, bend the left leg, reach up with the right hand, and see if you can catch that ankle. And you can stay here just like this. Breathing and continuing to fold. The other option, both fingertips come back up to the ground, left leg goes high, is to take your left hand, bend your left leg, grab for that ankle. It takes a little bit more finagling for most of us to grab the same foot, same ankle. You can take those right fingertips and start to slide them back behind you so your elbow is close to or making contact with that shin. Breath in and breath out. Release your leg, fingertips come down back to the earth. Let your left leg drop all the way down next to your right. Woo. Shake it out, wiggle it out. Breathe into a half lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, roll up. Arms float up. And breathe out, bow right back down. All the way to your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, move through your vinyasa, step back, lower down. Maybe keep those toes tucked. Try on that up dog variation. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee steps through, foot steps through. Dial your back heel down at the 45. Before you even come up, start to draw back on your left hip crease. Lift your chest up, warrior one. Breath in and breath out. Your hands drop behind your back, single fist. Send that fist down inside of your right leg, maybe back bend. Breath in and breath out. Come forward, send the weight into your left foot. Come to a warrior three with that bind. Breath in and breathe out. Fingertips plant. Right leg goes high, back to standing splits. You can stay right here or try on variation one. Bend your right leg. Reach up with your left hand. See if you can catch that ankle. Re-straighten, release, maybe try on the other option. Re-bend that right leg. Reach up with your right hand. Right hand to right ankle. If this feels okay, to draw those left fingertips back towards your heel. Breath in. Breathe out. One more breath in and release. Right leg comes down next to your left. Wiggle it out. Inhale to a half lift and exhale. Bring your hips all the way down onto your back. We're gonna do some dead bug stuff today. That's what they call it in the personal training world, dead bug. I'm sure in yoga we use a different word, something about supine tabletop. So here's what we'll do. Draw your knees up so you're there at a 45-degree angle, and then your hands reach right up above you. So you really are in a supine tabletop position. Now your opposite hand, opposite foot reaches forward. So left foot forward, right hand back, right hand up, and then back, and then switch. Left hand, right leg. And continue to move through these. Inhale as you expand. Exhale as you come back to center. Inhale, exhale. To make this more challenging, you can straighten your legs. So inhale, right hand, left leg. Two more. Last one. And drop your feet to the mat. Pick up your right foot. Cross it just above that left knee, ankle above left knee, finding that same figure four shape. Take a breath in. We're gonna move into a bridge pose, maintaining this figure four shape. So when you're ready, rotate your pelvis under to close that lower back gap. Press through your heel, lift your hips. Continue to press that right knee towards the floor. Grab your hands, maybe roll your shoulder blades under, squeeze your glutes, lift high. Breathe in. Now we're gonna switch sides. Your option, you can release, drop all the way down, reset and lift. Or if you wanna try it on with me, release that leg, step it next to your left foot, press your hips high, lift your left foot, cross it over. Transitioning without releasing down. Big breath in, big breath out, release your hands, lower all the way down onto your back. Left foot next to right. Do some windshield wipers with those legs. And we'll set up for pigeon. Settle in and see how it feels after class. So gently make your way to downward facing dog. Don't think too hard about it. We'll start on our right side, lift your right leg. Draw your right knee behind your right wrist, set your shin up, somewhere between a 45-degree angle and parallel to the front of your mat. Send your hips back, slide that left foot back so that you're centered Your weight is centered over your body. If you're leaning over out to the right, then you can stick a block or a blanket underneath that right hip to keep your weight centered. Inhale and lift your chest up nice and proud before you exhale. You can fold onto blocks, forearms. You can keep your chest lifted if that's better, or come all the way down to your forehead. About one more breath in, one more breath out. Start to lift up your chest. Walk those hands back. Tuck your back toe so you can re-straighten that back leg, lift up, and send that right leg high, three-legged dog. Maybe you need to do a few little hip circles or ankle circles to wake it up. And then your right leg comes back down next to your left. Left leg up, three-legged dog. Your knees behind your wrist. Set your leg up. Parallel 45, walk your right foot back. Make sure your weight's centered, lift up, and fold down. Start to wake yourself up. Fingers come back. Tuck your toe. Activate that back leg. Send your left leg right up, three-legged dog. Wiggle it out. And come back to your downward facing dog. Take one more breath in here. One more breath out. Drop your knees down to your mat. Come all the way down onto your back. One more brief figure four stretch. Right foot crosses over left ankle. This time, thread your hands through that figure four you made. Grab onto the back of your thigh or the front of your shin. Continue to press that right knee towards the front of the room. Last breath in and breath out. We'll just switch it up. Right foot plants down. Left foot crosses over your ankle. Reach your hands through. Grab onto that shin or thigh. Continue to press forward on that left knee. Release your right foot back down to the mat, left foot back down to the mat. We'll move into a supine twist. Arms can be out into a T or in goalpost arms. Draw your knees into your chest. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, let them fall over to the left. Cross that right leg over the left if you need a little more. Send your gaze over to your right fingertips. Inhale, bring your knees back to center. Exhale, unwind. Left leg over right. Let your legs fall over to the right side. Gaze to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Unwind your leg. Happy baby, last posture of class today. Knees can come down alongside your body, alongside your rib cage towards the ground. You can straighten one leg or the other. Draw your knees into your chest to give yourself one last hug. Whether it be firm or gentle, you know what you need. We'll all take a breath in together. And exhale, let your body open up. Come into Shavasana. Take this moment to find some gratitude that you were able to carve out this time and space for your practice today. Gently wake up your body, wiggling your fingers and toes. Roll onto your favorite side in the fetal position. Document the moments you feel most in love with yourself. What you're wearing, who you're around, what you're doing. Recreate and repeat. Press yourself up to seated, finding Sukhasana, comfortable cross-legged position. Draw your hands to heart center, pressing your thumbs into your heart, honoring your unique spirit that makes you an individual. We'll take one more breath in together and one more breath out. The light in me honors and sees the light in each of you. Namaste.